The film Hamnet delivers a powerful and emotionally charged portrayal of Shakespeare's family life, anchored by outstanding performances from Jessie Buckley and Mescal, culminating in a finale that leaves a lasting impact. But here's where it gets controversial. Adapting Maggie O'Farrell's richly detailed 2020 novel seemed nearly impossible. The book is a lush, poetic exploration of Shakespeare's domestic world, overflowing with vivid imagery and deep introspection, which presents a huge challenge for any filmmaker hoping to capture its essence on screen. Director Chloe Zhao has taken on that challenge, producing a film that moves with measured gravity and culminates in what might be one of the most profoundly touching cinematic endings in recent years. Zhao's sensibilities as a filmmaker align surprisingly well with the material. Known for her empathetic eye on nature and the quietly aching humanity she portrays, her previous works, like The Rider and Nomadland, focus on more intimate, less polished stories. Here, however, Zhao steps into more traditional and formal storytelling territory, which somewhat dims the subtlety and rawness we've come to expect from her. At times, Hamnet feels weighed down by the trappings of what one might call prestige film, the kind that clearly aims for awards recognition. Nevertheless, Zhao's trademark compassion and curiosity shine through, crucial qualities that save the film from tipping into sentimental manipulation. The story at its heart revolves around Shakespeare's son Hamnet, whose tragic early death is believed to have inspired the famed play Hamlet. O'Farrell and Zhao take a bold interpretive leap, proposing that Shakespeare's masterpiece was born from the depths of his grief, a poetic farewell to his lost child. It's an emotionally compelling hypothesis, even if it strains credibility a bit. A scene where Shakespeare, overcome with sorrow on the Thames's banks, recites, "To be or not to be," might feel overwrought. Yet by the film's conclusion, Zhao largely convinces us of her vision. Hamnet doesn't stick strictly to historical facts, creating imagined moments in Shakespeare's life, such as his courtship of Agnes Hathaway, portrayed as a mysterious and solitary figure whispered about by their neighbors. William, played by Mescal, is drawn to Agnes's eccentric charm, a trait that influences the unique dynamics of their family life. The film devotes considerable time to these early relationships, sometimes to the detriment of developing the years Hamnet himself shares with siblings Judith and Susanna. This choice leaves viewers longing to know more about Hamnet himself before his heartbreaking absence, to deepen the emotional weight of his loss. What the screenplay lacks in some storytelling depth, the cast more than makes up for. Mescal's performance is a revelation. We see a range of emotion from seductive charm to shattered grief that he hasn't fully displayed in quieter works like Aftersun or The History of Sound. Yet it is Jessie Buckley who truly carries the film, embodying Agnes with such raw power and depth that her portrayal becomes the film's emotional core. Buckley's work is astonishing. She even lends her voice to the audiobook, bringing another dimension to the story. The climactic scenes rest on her shoulders, and she rises to the challenge, channeling a universal human sorrow that transcends acting into something much more profound. This might sound grandiose, but the film's last 5 minutes are genuinely breathtaking. They're so compelling that one is willing to overlook the familiar use of Max Richter's On the Nature of Daylight, a piece famously associated with grief in Arrival. In these closing moments, Zhao reveals the film's true purpose. It's not just a beautifully shot tale of sorrow, but a powerful meditation on the transformative and universal nature of art. We witness something intensely private. Agnes and William's grief expand in a single moment into a timeless artistic expression. This is the magic of creation made visible, turning personal devastation into a masterpiece that connects across centuries. Yet, despite this transcendent ending, the film isn't free from flaws. Its uneven narrative pacing and at times overt emotional coaxing can feel heavy-handed. particularly Agnes's somewhat sentimental connection to the natural world, which occasionally borders on the cloying. But even with these issues, Zhao's ability to conjure a moment of pure, honest catharsis nudges Hamnet toward greatness. When Agnes reaches out in farewell to her son, the tears viewers shed are unforced and genuine. There's something deeply moving about sharing this intimate grief with strangers in a theater, empathizing with Agnes and William's unimaginable loss, while also confronting our own. It's a testament to storytelling's power to bridge time and experience. To spark some debate, does the film's creative liberty, taking historical imagination far beyond the facts, diminish its impact? Or does it enrich our emotional understanding of loss and creativity? Can we accept such speculative narrative as a valid way to connect with Shakespeare's life? Or should we demand stricter fidelity to history? I'd love to hear your thoughts and any disagreements. This film certainly isn't without its potential to divide opinions. Hamnet is currently screening at the Toronto International Film Festival and is scheduled for release in the United States on December 27th and in the United Kingdom on January 9th.